Welcome back to another one take, and this time, yeah, we're in the Kremlin, the tankiest battleship in the game. I don't think there's really much dispute about that. This ship kind of just refuses to die, and that's a massive strength that we can use to our advantage. This map, unfortunately, we got ourselves arms race, so this one might not be the most representative of your games, but we're gonna make do with what we got. Our team seems to be a little uncoordinated here. Our Republic, I mean, I'd love to see him out wide so we can get some cross shots. Our radar cruisers heading for the A line, you know, just World of Warships at its finest, I gotta say. But we're gonna push up since we are so tanky, and in arms race, there's potential for us to actually get a lot more HP and healing. We can play pretty aggressive early on, I think. The enemy team seems to have... yeah, they got one good torpedo boat, really, and that's about it. So not a lot to worry about there, at least for now. The Balau could cause some issues if he sets his sights on me. This is a great position to come to if you spawn middle on Warrior's Path. If you want to impact at least this side of the map, we can sit kind of bow in here, and we can impact certainly this flank, but as well as the middle of the map too, so... not a bad position to be in. Our gearing has just no support whatsoever, so if he runs across any of those gunboat DDs, could be lights out already for him. Notice the GK's coming. Alright, looks like we got ourselves some fights coming up already. Try and hit the submarine as much as we possibly can. And that's fine, you know? Not the most amazing start in the world, but we get 5k onto the sub. What's really going to matter a lot coming up is how much healing that submarine might get. That could be the issue, but not a bad start. Got ourselves a Yoshino. Tough positioning though, this game. Oh boy. Well, I mean, there is a broadside Yoshino, so love to get another shot at that, or a shot at that at all. Would be pretty sick. And we'll just back off for a bit. I'm not sure what torps are coming through here, right? So I kind of always just want to keep slightly on the move. Kremlin's got some really good acceleration, so it's something you can definitely use to your advantage. Okay. Can we get any damage on this guy? One. Our rear turret didn't look amazing. Yeah, it missed entirely. Got a Citadel. Kremlin's claim to fame certainly is not its long-range dispersion. I'm gonna rep that. I tend to use my damage controls in the Kremlin very aggressively until I have 3 left. So I use the first 2 extremely aggressively, and then I kind of hold on to the 3 left, because at that point I kind of want to save them for crucial moments. But the Kremlin only having 4 heals, not 5 heals, does limit the potential tanking a little bit. So it's important to sort of hang on to those somewhat. Got ourselves a Montana. Kremlin in the meta does struggle. I'll admit it. I think this ship is incredibly strong. It's just not got the best long-range accuracy. And it doesn't even have too much range. He says as he Citadels a Montana at long range. But traditionally, this ship is not going to do particularly well at these longer ranges. And it really wants to play close range. That's where it's getting a lot of its impact from. So keep that in mind. This ship, while strong, it can struggle a little bit in the current meta, right? Especially if you get into super ship kind of games. Okay, they rammed. Fair enough. I'm playing a little more aggressive because you see how we have a Holland and a Daring here. So the Sherman is in. We want to definitely get shots in on this guy if we can. A little concerned he might have torped at me here. Conqueror's not a big deal. He's just spamming HE from range. Sherman... looks like he did torp at me. Good thing we moved. And there's that disgusting close range accuracy. That's the thing about Kremlin. You're really bad long range accuracy, but at close range, It's some scary stuff. We got a couple of DDs just trying to farm us a little bit. I don't really care. I don't really care. What I want to do is push up enough to get myself in a decent enough position to put some pressure on these guys. Alright, we'll use that, you know, liberally again. We still have 4 left. I'm hoping that can get some support from our team here real quick. It'd be really nice to have some team support. That sap definitely hurts a lot. Although it should be saturating at this point. But maybe not. We're losing a lot of HP. But what we are doing is we're stalling them out. Right? We're stalling them out. They can't get to this heal yet. Our daring... I wish my daring was so much closer to me here. I feel like I played too aggressive just based on my team being so passive, I guess I should say. It's not like this is a bad position. I think it's probably a fine position. I'm also taking way more damage than I should be, I think. I feel like my HP pool's gone down so much faster than it normally does. I don't understand. But yeah, our daring playing so passive, tough game. We do have Kuznetsov with us, but I mean the enemy team has all the buffs already. Like this game is just gonna go downhill super duper quick. Sherman gets a fire pretty quick. That's pretty much to be expected. It's really, really, really disappointing playing arms race, guys. I'm sorry that this happened to be the match we got. Honestly, it's very disappointing. Arms race is easily the worst game mode, simply because blowouts are just so common. There's really not much you can do once you start losing. Once you start losing, you just not gonna stop losing. The way the balance of this mode is, teams just win harder thanks to all of these buffs, right? And I'm in a position here where I don't have very much support. We'll try and live as long as we can, right? We are making use of Kuznetsov, right? So we healed back up pretty well. And this Sherman smoke should be going down soonish. It's a reasonably quick fire again, I would say. There, okay. Finally, the smoke goes down. But it's GG at this point. And that's why I don't like playing arms race. It feels so hopeless to me. We bounced twice off of Salem that we overmatch everywhere. Somehow. Unlucky. Unlucky first game. Kremlin's a pretty solid ship, honestly. Just that in this game, we got really, really clapped out by the matchmaker, I would say. You know, our team just played a little too passive. They got all the buffs, and now they're going to win very handily. And I don't even think I'm going to get to my next repair. So you can see how quickly you get farmed out by just a solo Sherman, even. So much for the tankiest battleship, right? I'm personally of the opinion that battleships could be a little tankier. I think these DPM DDs are a little too strong. That's why I'm abusing them in ranked, guys. If you're curious, the DPM destroyers are the way that I'm just breezing through ranked right now. It's they're a little too good. They're a little too good. I'm not gonna lie. Here though, to be fair, they do have a lot of buffs, extra arms race buffs, and we didn't get any, like not a one. So it's arms race. It's a blowout. Let's move on to the next one. As far as the commander's concerned on the Kremlin, it's just a tank build. There's really no other way to build a Kremlin. I'm also running Grease the Gears just to get myself a little better turret traverse. It's nice to have since we want to play Kremlin a little bit closer. And then Gunfeeder can be very useful for those bow-on battleship fights where you don't have Overmatch for battleships, so you want to swap to the HE sometimes. Not all the time, but I do find it pretty useful sometimes. And I think also the equipment is pretty standard as well, right? It's just a tank build. I am running propulsion, like I said. I'm constantly using my propulsion to maneuver around islands. I'm playing bow in, pretty static, so propulsion actually helps a ton with mitigating damage when it comes to the Kremlin. In this case, we just took an absolute ton of damage early. We didn't even make it to 2 million potential damage. Maybe Kremlin's weaker than I remember, or we just happen to be unlucky, like I said. Arms race never goes particularly well for me. It tends to be an unfun experience. Always a blowout. Either my team wins or my team loses. And there's really not much gameplay to be had. It's too bad. I wish Wargaming would... I'm shocked I'm saying this. I wish Wargaming would just put Epicenter back in. It's just a way better game mode. It's basically the same game mode, just without the buffs. That final circle, it works the exact same as Epicenter, where it leads to these blowout victories regardless. Epicenter was always bad for that as well. But in this case, Arms Race tends to just be, well, blowout victories where you give the winning team buffs to their ships, so they win even harder. It's sad. It's really, 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 really sad to see. I really do wish that... I wish they would have thought through a little better. Maybe had the buffs be dynamic, where they maybe gave the losing team easier access buffs. I don't know. Something to make it less of a snowball effect. That's all. In this game, we're getting a domination match, which is good. We got ourselves a Worcester and a Gearing on this side. So, you know, we get ourselves a nice little trio here. Maybe we could work together on this flank. We do have to watch out for enemies' CVs this time. Kremlin has good AA. I know it, you know, sounds wrong, but it actually has pretty good AA. The main problem is the AA health. So every mount has a little bit of HP, and in Kremlin's case, it's very little HP on the AA mounts. So you'll notice that you're going to shoot down a lot of planes early on, 6.6 kilometer range. But keep an eye out for this little number here in the bottom left. This is the number of secondaries and AA mounts remaining as a percentage. We're going to take a couple HE hits, and we're going to have way less AA. And a few less secondaries as well. That's kind of the major issue with Kremlin. Slava doesn't have that problem. Similar AA mounts and range on the AA, but the mounts themselves have way more HP, so they survive longer, and that's why Slava is a much better AA platform. Kremlin used to be better, but that was one of the nerfs they had for it back in the day. Alongside, of course, the nerfs to the shells. They used to do more damage, and they had better pen and velocity, all that stuff. All right. Not like current Kremlin's all that bad. Its major issue really is just the meta that it finds itself in. It tends to be a more passive one, and that it really kind of struggles with dispersion sometimes. 4 overpens, too bad. It is an angled ship, so you'd expect full pens, at least with Overmatch. Unfortunate. So our Gearing going wide. Hopefully he doesn't run into, I don't know, the Druid, I guess, here. That's really the major concern. Just going to try and get ready to help him out here. Fortunately, the broadside armor is very tough, even though Kremlin has an above-water citadel. It's so thick and actually really well angled that you don't really have to worry about battleships citadeling you until they get a little bit closer. Okay, so we're spotted. Good to know. And I'm going wide here because I want to help my DD, right? That's really what I want to do. Get spotted, yeah, through there. Interesting. So I'll be curious to see if we see some torps here eventually. Yoshino, is he going to come out broadside? Surely not, right? Surely not. That would be a bad play. We got a Marceau pushing into the cap, so we got to keep that in mind as well. Okay, there is a Druid here. I'll shoot the DD. Only got 4. Too bad. So Druid has AP only, right? So we're just going to angle to it. Our Gearing smokes up, which is really good. So this is something you can do in divisions. And if you see a Kremlin tanking, something you could do is just take advantage of him spotting for you. Just straight up. Like, a Kremlin is not going to die very quickly, so using him to spot and then farm off of his spotting is a really, really good option. Yoshino is going to come out broadside, I guess. I mean, he's obviously going for torps, right? So We're going to try and just go bow on to where we think they're coming from. And try and dodge as many as we can. Double fire. Maybe I shouldn't have repped that. It's possible. Interesting. I think we're going to eat one. That's all. I'm not shooting yet because I want to wait and see if he's going to get greedy for his other torps. Right, I want to hold him bowing here. Unfortunately, the carrier's here too. Notice how we only have 91 AA mounts left. So I could go for his citadel back here, but it's really, really hard to hit, right? Yeah, see, really not worth it. That's why I wasn't shooting, you know? Because it's just not worth it. It's so frustrating. So yeah, my Kremlin's not working very good today. Normally, in these really close range situations, the Kremlin's really, really, really strong, guys. It's very, very good. It's just not working today for me. I don't know what this Yoshino's doing. Apparently, my Kremlin's so bad that people just disrespect it this much. So we do kill him, which is good. And, you know, our team's pushing down A, which is great. We're going to rep that. I think that's... He turned to the same side he used his torps on, so I don't think he has any torps left for me. But we'll just to be sure. Also start shooting the Marseille. Hoping to get some damage in on him. That's a little better. Okay. This is all right. This is okay. Unfortunately for us, it looks like the enemy team is really going hard on the sea cap. Okay, we see the druid. We want to shoot the druid. Try and help our team as much as possible on him. All right, we'll use a heal. Try and get into this fight a little bit more. Maybe I should have been healing earlier. Did I just forget to heal? You guys are probably screaming at your monitors right now. I think I did forget to heal. I mean, it was good bait. He says, trying to justify a bad decision after the fact. Okay, let's go back. Now, like I talk about quite a bit, it's really, 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 really bad to push into an enemy spawn. It's almost always not going to work out. So what we need to do is not push their spawn, but what we need to do is we need to push to B. That's what we need to do. Yeah, Marseille is going to get his lucky double fire. We have a rep for it. It's no big deal. But yeah, we need to go support B. That's what we need to do. Oh, look it. We have 28% of our AA left. What was I saying earlier? Yeah, it's unfortunate. The nerfs to Kremlin were very, very weird. Very strange. To the point where, you know, it didn't really feel like much of a nerf if there's no carrier present. But if there is a carrier, it's a massive change where, like, you're helpless. You're literally helpless. Although I guess you could say that about most ships. That just, you know, everything just doesn't have AA these days. So we're going to push back here. Got a Kremlin, Holland, Monty to deal with in the middle. And so here's the reason pushing spawn doesn't work. The enemy can just go into their spawn and then just create massive crossfires, right? So these guys, well, they pushed across. They still have these guys to deal with, you know? And as we get a little bit closer here, right? Just us, you know, being here is slowly going to apply enough pressure, I hope, to deal with them. And hopefully pinch them in a crossfire a little bit. I'm waiting for this Monty to give me a little better angle. I'd love to show you guys more of this close range dispersion. It does get really good around 12. Around 12 kilometers, I'd say, is where you want to be. It's pretty good dispersion, but unfortunately no citadels. Citadels are kind of hidden these days. Oh, right. He's just sitting there, so 4 seconds. I mean, maybe we kill him. I'd love to say we do. It would really help. It would really help at this point in the game. Okay, we did get 2. We did get 2. Good, 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 good. Yeah, so like the Marseille, like, right, if we pushed into their spawn, we couldn't have dealt with him very easily, right? Unfortunately for us, this Monty's still living and not spotted now either. Kidney goes down. There's a Shima in our spawn. Okay, fair enough for our midway to be dealing with that. Fair enough. I'd be so sad if our Worcester gets dev struck by the Montana here. You can see him here. He's pretty broadside. That'd be really disappointing. Although the Monty probably just went bow in. All right, here it comes. He only got his front guns. Oh my goodness. The split feels bad, man. I've been there, Mr. Monty. I've been there. That Worcester deserved to take so much more damage, man, and he just didn't. That's crazy. We're not going to push in just yet. Try and take this guy out. My first salvo wasn't amazing into a superstructure, but that one was a little better. Maybe we can sneak a salvo over, unless my team... Yeah, the team gets them. That's good. And our gearing goes down. Unfortunate. But I think we're doing all right. This Kremlin's going to go down here soon. And I'm going to push a little bit here. I really hope our Marceau doesn't try and go YOLO the 14,000 HP Kremlin. It's far more valuable for him to be alive than to get a few torpedoes off. Far more valuable. Because he can move around the map spotting. He can do a lot of work in the late game with caps. But it looks like the play is to just send his ship away. Okay. All right, we got ourselves a Marseille to deal with. Kremlin goes down. The Marceau did also go down. So I don't really want to allow this Marseille to just like get into our A-cap, right? So I think I'm just going to chill here. Reverse and angle as much as I can. I don't think he has the pen at this angle and this range. We should be overmatching him, I think. Right? He's got 30? Okay, maybe not. Maybe we don't overmatch. I hope our Worcester can just stay alive. That'd be great. As he gets closer, we will overmatch. We will, I promise. We will overmatch. I don't want to get rammed. That's a big thing here. Surely. Where is that going? Okay. I guess we'll start reversing a little bit. Oh, man. Feels bad. We do have a Napoli to deal with yet, too. Yeah, I feel like I should have done more to this guy. A little more. Oh, he got our midway. That's really bad. Okay, 14. Better. Yeah, so now that our midway's done, it would have been nice for our Marceau to still be alive, huh? It's a good way to keep map control and spotting, right? Okay. This is a problem. I'm not sure which way he's going to go. It seems like he wants to come around behind. Probably. Yeah, okay, I gotta push. Because I can't allow him to just get my broadside, right? We'll push. Okay, I was gonna say, if we don't get a Citadel, I was gonna be not a very happy gamer if we don't get a Citadel. Okay, I mean, 188, that's pretty good. 188. We did a lot of tanking. Not a lot of potential damage again. Maybe Kremlin's not as tanky as I thought. I haven't played it for a while, so, you know, there's that, I suppose. Aw, the double click didn't go through. But looks like we'll win this one, at least. That's nice. So, a loss on arms race, really not much to think about there. That really comes down to aggressive DDs taking the buffs, and then your team is pretty guaranteed to win. This one, I feel like we played pretty well. Although our Yami went down, so it's possible we lose this yet. Alrighty. So the key here is going to be to just hit him in the bow, right? Although if he wants to go broadside, sure. Fair enough. And there we go. 230? That's pretty good. 4 kills. I'll take it. Fortunately for me, he launched his torps just a bit early. Propulsion mod allowed me to maybe reverse a little quicker than he expected. Yeah. Feels good. The nice thing also was my bow was super saturated, so that's why the torps did very, very, very low damage. Super saturated bow there. Doesn't take much damage from torps. Pretty good game. But yeah, that's the Kremlin. That's this one take done. Hope you enjoyed. I think this second one was a really good example of Kremlin. It's not great at range, but if you can play aggressive and, most importantly, try and help your team control cap zones, it's really, really strong still. And yeah, like, look at that. We're tanking 172k still. That's a big part of Kremlin. It's a brick that just is very difficult to take down. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think of the Kremlin in 2022. I think it's a decent ship. It doesn't always perform the best, though. The long distance game is pretty difficult for it. We happen to get a good map there on that second one where the ship can perform and we can put ourselves in good positions with it. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.